The Broadway League announced this week that the Broadway shutdown will now continue until June of 2021. May 30th, 2021 is the proposed last day of the shutdown. It's devastating news for all of us. There's no way anyone can work in the theater and not really feel that deeply. Now, I know we knew. I know that every date they've put forth from last April and May, June, September, and then January was always a placeholder date, basically a refunding tickets date. And we're not unaware of the world situation and what's going on. And so it's not really a surprise that it's extended through May 30th and possibly longer. But it is still a shock. It's still something that we feel to our core. And if you're someone who's not in the theater, just try to imagine if there were something that you devoted your life to, something you cared about and felt so deeply that you worked your entire life and sacrificed greatly to hone highly specialized skills in your profession, to do what you do, and suddenly that were just taken away from you. I know theater people aren't the only people affected by this, but honestly, at least in New York State, Phase 4 of the shutdown, we went all the way through the phases of the reopening, and when we got to Phase 4 of the reopening, it was all except live theaters. So we are starting to feel ourselves in a little bit of a unique position. What can we do? That is the question. What can we do? What shall we do? This is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing. I'm glad to see you here. Shine your light. Are you like me? Do you judge it? Do you look at it and say, that's not a particularly bright light, that's nothing amazing? The gifted and beautiful and talented Michael McElroy on the red steps in Times Square last week, conducting all those extraordinary Broadway performers in Sunday from Sunday in the Park with George. That was a Klieg light. Michael McElroy, that is a magnificent light. Greta Thunberg at the UN, fighting for an end to climate change and for all countries taking action to save the planet. That is a firework. That is something extraordinary. That is a brilliant young woman. Emma Watson, speaking to the UN about women's equality across the world. Amazing. Such a bright light. I'm never invited to speak at the UN. I don't know what they don't have casting directors there generally, I think, as a rule. It's easy to compare and despair in this industry. A lot of us fall into that now and then. But we all have a light. We all have a light to shine. We all can give. We all can offer what we have. Maybe not judge it. Maybe just accept what it is and shine it outward. Because I'll tell you something. If it gets dark enough, suddenly that's pretty remarkable. Suddenly that's a really bright light. And may I suggest to you that in the world right now, it's dark enough. It's dark enough that your light is needed. My light is needed. Everyone is needed to shine as brightly as we possibly can. Because when we come together, when everybody together as a community shines their light and offers what they have, it gets really big. And then we notice that's pumpkin spice. The matches are from Arriba Arriba. Remember that place? Okay, I just spilled hot wax all over my hand, but it's worth it. So, you see, I may not be someone who's as brilliant and bright as Lin-Manuel Miranda, dazzling comet supernova that he is. I may not be that guy who can create whenweallvote.org, which is a website that Lin-Manuel created, which encourages people to vote and to volunteer. But I can volunteer there. I can sign up. I can lead teams of people to vote, to get people out to vote. I can offer my social media to put out there for people ways to register and ways to vote. See, there are things we can do. You know, I may not be Kevin Costner, who developed the ocean technology to clean up the Gulf oil spill. That is pretty impressive. I may not be Hedy Lamarr, who developed to keep the German torpedoes from reaching the Allies. She developed a system, technology, that's actually the basis used today for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and GPS. Did you know that? Hedy Lamarr, Hollywood sex symbol, she actually developed Wi-Fi, or the code that's used for Wi-Fi. I mean, that's an impressive light. Okay. Maybe that's not what I've been working on. I'm a casting director. I'm more of a journeyman. I'm somebody who works in show business. At the time of the Broadway shutdown, I had 5 shows going. Pretty big shows, one of which was an enormous musical, and we were right on the cusp of the final auditions. We had 2 weeks of final audition appointments scheduled, and those were happening the week after the Broadway shutdown. So Broadway shut down March 12th, and on March 13th, my intern and I were the only 2 left in town, and we went into the office and we sent all the emails and made all the calls to cancel all those appointments. So I feel it too. I understand. I get it. But you know, my partner and I went online and found Swing State postcards, was what we did an internet search for. And what's this? This is 200 postcards to be mailed to lapsed voters in the state of Kentucky. And what they do is they send you the information and the names and addresses of the people, and you handwrite the postcards with personal messages, which they provide, that are particularly targeted toward these specific people. And you need to provide the postage. So we were able to order 200 and put up $70 in postage to get these out this month. And we're writing them by hand. We're doing what we can. I looked up on the internet just today to see if you can still get these, and it seems like this particular one is closed out now because they got 13 million postcards out. 13 million postcards by everyone volunteering to do just a few, just what they could afford postage-wise, just what they could afford time-wise, whatever light they could shine. But if all of us do a little bit, what an incredible light that becomes. How extraordinary it is when we're all shining as brightly as we can. What we can create as a community is just magnificent. You know, I've been asking myself if it's not an accident, perhaps, that lately, in this dark time, with all that's going on in the world, every theater person in the world is out of work right now. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Lupita Nyong'o, or if you're Viola Davis, or if you're Meryl Streep, or if you're George Clooney. We're all out of work right now, theater-wise. It's fascinating. Perhaps just when we are most needed. You know, it's that quote that's attributed to Buddha, and then if you look it up, it says, well, Buddha never really said it, and I don't know how they know what Buddha said because it was so many centuries ago. But there's that quote: when you finally realize how absolutely perfect everything is, you will literally tilt your head back and laugh at the sky. So maybe there's a reason we're out of work right now, when we're focusing on the Black Lives Matter movement and all of the healing that goes with that. And we're focusing on moving things through politically and trying to make a better world for ourselves. And we're all available to give some energy to that right now. Maybe that's not an accident. Maybe that's just an extraordinary thing. It's like in the Bible, in the Torah, when Hosea says to Esther, perhaps you were born for just such a time as this. So I urge you, please, to not dismiss it. Yes, it hurts. Yes, if you need to take a day or 2 or 3 to kind of just heal, lick your wounds, be sad, feel the pain of this, sure. But you are needed. Your light is very much needed right now. So I urge you, please, get off the pity pot. Let's take action. Let's make things happen to make a better world. Search inside for the things you believe in and care about, and then shine your light. Keep the channel open. I keep this in my office. It's one of my favorite things. It's that quote from Dance to the Piper, Agnes de Mille's autobiography, in which she shares toward the end the words that Martha Graham said to her. I'll see if I can read this for you. There is a vitality, a life force, and energy, a quickening that is translated through you into action, and because there is only one of you in all of time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or your work. You have to keep open and aware directly to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open. I urge you to stay conscious of that. I urge you, no matter how you're feeling it, and no matter how painful it may seem, to keep the channel open. It's pretty dark right now. And your light is very much needed. And even if, like me, maybe it's just a tea light. Maybe you're not Lin-Manuel Miranda either. But, as Edna St. Vincent Millay puts it, but ah, my foes, and oh, my friends, it gives a lovely light. Shine. You, beautiful you, your light is very much needed. I urge you, shine. Let your light shine. This is Arnold Mangioli for Grateful, Ready, Open, Willing. Thanks for spending some time together.